All right. Okay. Well, you know what? I've had enough of the peanut gallery up here, so let's bring him on.
Okay.
Judge Executive Michael Mueller joins us here on a Wednesday. A great day to join us here today.
Yeah.
Every day's a great day, but I appreciate you inviting me. Kathy, sorry, I didn't mean to intervene in the Reese Cup thing, but I was like, it's a circle, it's not a bar. Had to throw it out there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take it. We can disagree, but it's
Disagree.
Reese's are the best.
That happens a lot.
Reese's are the best.
I know.
They really are.
I mean, I just need to figure out a way to get them in there.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
Well, they actually
do
make
they have a
Reese's
bar?
bars now. I think they
so
do.
I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, the
I'm
Reese's
just going to
bar.
say it's a
Yeah,
Reese's
yeah.
bar.
It's got a little crunchy cookie crunch in it.
Yeah. So I'm just going to do that.
It's a classic.
Well, now that we've got the serious stuff out of the way,
Okay.
Judge, a lot of stuff happening. I know there's always stuff happening, but it feels like the last 24, 48 hours has been even more than usual.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot, but it's all good. We got a lot of good things going, and we appreciate everything everybody does on the team. And yes, there's some changes to the team right now going on, but it's okay.
So let's just start with that because we talked about it already. Chris Quire's announcement yesterday, right, that he's going to retire. Tomorrow's his last day.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah. You're supposed to raise your hand.
I'm proud of you for getting that computer going under the gun. I don't know if you were more nervous than me. And I was like, I was starting to sweat. I was like, is she going to get it done or not? I was getting ready to call the kid over here.
I know. Well, I mean, I can wing it.
Yeah.
That
was good. I was impressed. Under pressure.
Okay. Sheriff Quire. He came in before the end of a term. Is that correct?
I think there was a special election, if I remember.
Okay.
If I remember right.
So how many years has he actually been sheriff?
Oh, that's a good question. I should know that. Just 2 terms, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, two and a half terms.
Because he was with the Frankfort Police Department.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when I was a magistrate last term, he was on there, and so I think he came in 2 years before me. I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he'd been around law enforcement here in Frankfort, and we're going to be sad to lose him.
Yeah. So what was your emotional reaction when he first told you?
I mean, it was a lot. At first I'm like, are you okay? It's the first thing everybody asks. And, my phone's ringing off the hook, and everybody's like, he's sick, he's that. He's not.
Yeah.
He and I have talked for years. We have a great working relationship. The Sheriff's Department and the Franklin County Fiscal Court are amazing. They work together well. He just said, I always wanted to go out on top. And the Sheriff's Department is probably better than it's ever been right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, and I can respect that. It had to do with his years of service and just, I think, we lost Ted Collins just not that long ago. And that was a big mentor for Sheriff Quire.
For sure, yeah.
So, I'm sure there's a lot of personal things going on, but he's healthy. His family's good. He just said, I want to go out on top, and I feel like now's the right time.
Now, did I hear him say in the clip, it's 27 years?
28 and 8 months.
28. See, that's a lot for somebody in law enforcement.
Yeah,
it sure
because
is.
You can retire sooner than that because of hazardous.
Right.
Yeah, he's tier 1, and he told me during that, I think at 19 or something, he started handing out parking tickets at the city.
Yeah.
So that's where it began.
Yeah, you get to a point where you're like, bye.
Yeah.
I got a life to live.
So we appreciate everything he has done. I mean, he's had some huge accomplishments. I mean, just last year, he was named Sheriff of the Year for the whole state. And then,
what more do you need?
And in the same year, though, Deputy Shane Terrell became Special Deputy of the Year. It's the first time a county has won the 2 highest awards in the state in history.
Well,
yeah. So last year was a big
what's
year.
going on around here?
Yeah, we got a lot of good things going on. Yeah.
Well, you talked about the working relationship that the Sheriff's Department and the Fiscal Court have, and he mentioned it in his comments. I imagine you guys are hopeful that will, that you sort of laid the groundwork and built the bridge, so to speak, to keep that going.
Yeah, he, we had a long talk, and he was very nervous because I'm not one to really appoint people.
Yeah.
And that was very important to him, was to appoint, Chief Depp, his right-hand man, who's always with him.
Yeah.
They're together all the time, thick and thin. So, and I couldn't think of anybody. There's a lot of great qualified deputies that we have at the Sheriff's Department.
Sure.
But Dwayne being Chris's right hand man, it's the right fit. So I went ahead and swore him in, and then so at midnight on Thursday he'll become our new Franklin County Sheriff.
Okay.
And for history, he'll be the first African American sheriff this county's ever had.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's very cool.
So he'll serve out the rest of the term.
Correct.
Which is a year.
A year and a couple months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then does he have ambitions to run?
Yeah,
for sure?
he does.
Okay.
He does. I kind of wanted to make sure of that because I didn't want to put somebody just in there for a year and then kind of start all over.
Have to start again.
Yeah, so that was part of the conversation.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations to Chris.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Chris, congratulations.
He's
Don't be
still,
a stranger.
I know, and I'm sure he's 46.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll find new things to do.
Wow. Yeah.
And hopefully he'll continue to be a major part of this community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's helped us with projects, and we hope he still does.
Yeah.
And he plans on it. There's one of the pictures we took yesterday with Max Conley, our county attorney, and Chris, myself, Michelle, who's his kind of office manager, right hand, my deputy Jack Kennedy, and then that will be our new sheriff, Chief Deputy Dwayne Depp right there. So it's all good stuff. I'm sad to, I was sad in that video, because I knew he was really trying to hold it together, and we had to talk right before it aired, went on, and I'm like, man, he's I don't know if he's going to make it. So I was really feeling for him, because it was weighing heavy on him. It was a tough decision.
Totally.
Yep. But we wish him well.
Yeah, and best of luck to the new sheriff. Maybe we'll have him on to talk about
his
history and his ideas.
I'll break him in.
Get him to know. Okay, other news. Nitto had their. Was it ribbon cutting or
groundbreaking ribbon cutting?
No, it was ribbon cutting.
There's ribbon cutting. Because Nito's there.
There we are.
Yeah.
So
that
they
was a fancy white glove one.
Yeah. So they actually, very, very formal. The guys to the right came over from Japan the day before. Very, very nice. But it was very. A lot of formal, we had to put gloves on. We each had our own pair of scissors. It was very well done. It's very respectful. But so they opened actually a couple months ago, 220 employees. They didn't want to do an announcement yet because they'd actually consolidated 4 other facilities. So they were kind of being respectful and closing those and making this all happen here. But they're extremely happy. I know Tierney Developers is putting another building up out there, and I think they're already looking at part of another building to expand in. So they're potentially talking to be about 300 employees potentially by the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going very well for them, and we're excited to have them in our community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, any growth for our community we think is good.
Amen. So. Yep. And that was a team effort, though. The governor's office and Team Kentucky really helped. I can't thank Penny Peevler and our economic development. I mean, the Patrick Tierney and his dad. Everybody really worked hard together. Originally they were like, we were going to do some warehouses, and I'm like, we don't want warehouses. We need jobs.
Yeah.
And he acknowledged that, and it just all worked out. So we're working on some other industries to come this way. I was on the phone for a couple hours yesterday with some people. So we have a lot of things going on here in Franklin County. So it's good.
I keep seeing myself in your shot.
Do you? That's all right. We can hang out. I'll scoot over.
I wanted to, just because this kind of aligns with this. There was back to the paddocks thing. So there were quotes in this article in the Herald Leader, and I do want to shout out the Herald Leader for this. But Jason Taylor is one of the developers out there, right? And so a quote. I just want to read the quote that he made about Frankfort and the community. He said, local politicians and leaders today have recognized that they have to diversify the workforce and they've got to grow. And with the governor's help, the market's primed for that. National retailers recognize that there's housing growth coming here. There's job growth coming here. Frankfort is going to see population growth over the next 10 years that it's needed for a long time.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, that's
okay.
I mean, for not an outsider, but somebody that's sort of outside of the sort of circle of Frankfort to recognize that and see that, and that they're going to be a big part of it.
Yeah, we have a lot going on. We have a new apartment complex on Leestown Road, I believe, is breaking ground. We're getting ready. We're going to break ground on that. The one on the west side's probably October. I know there's some housing.
Is that like behind JCPenney?
Well, they're back there too. There's a developer looking at maybe 300 homes back there.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
okay.
So there's a lot of it comes down to a lot of the infrastructure. Yeah. So there's a lot of things in the works.
Yep.
And I know tonight on the fiscal court meeting tonight, we're going to go ahead and approve our affordable housing project on Home Street.
Okay.
We have 2 acres on Home Street. We received a very good bid. It's actually for next year. But I'm going to go ahead and get it done tonight so we can commit to it. So that will be, a possible clinic down there and, 40 or 50 units of affordable housing. So we're working with city, the state, everybody to try to – we are probably one of the worst counties as far as housing. I think we're 4,500 behind. So we acknowledge that. So we're trying to make up for things that didn't happen before us. So, but it's okay. We're all working together to head that direction.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that except to continue to move forward. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. No looking in the rearview mirror. We're looking forward. So, we have a lot of exciting things going on.
we've been talking about, you guys had a meeting a few weeks ago about the home buyout program.
Yeah.
Anything you want to mention on that?
That's a big deal. We had a great USDA came and the NCRF came, and they did a great job. I was thinking about 20, 30 people were going to be there. There was about 100 in the room. A lot of good questions.
Buy me out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot. But
people want to know, like, what's
they
the
want to know,
story?
and everyone has different scenarios, and it came down to a lot of the questions were, I already received some FEMA money. How does that work if I want to do the buyout? So they were there, and our ER assist, who works with us, was there, and they explained all that, and that she gave them individual contacts so they could answer any questions. So it was very, very helpful. I actually got a list this morning of all the people that are potentially looking at doing the buyout program. So we're doing a soft date of August 1 to have all those together to send to Washington D.C., because there's a pot of money that is created just for this, and so it's first come, first serve, and it's for the nation. So they're dealing with wildfires, they're dealing with tornadoes, so we're going to go ahead and get as many in as we can, try to secure that 75%. We've been talking to legislators here as far as the match from the state and the local. So I think it's going well. It's just a lot of things,
right?
But it's going well. I'm very glad we did the town hall. It was very useful, very helpful. There's talk about doing another town hall, but more of there's a lot of inquiries of why did it flood? Is the river filling in? And so we've had meetings with Division of Water and some other people. So we're trying to kind of figure out where we go next to try to get some of these questions answered. I'm not a professional at that. How the flood walls bring the water in, then it has to spread out.
Because it has momentum. Dredging, right?
Yeah, but I got called to the principal's office. They don't use that term anymore.
Okay.
So,
wow, that's good.
Well, that's the term we're all familiar with.
I know.
Those of us who are boaters know that the river is getting shallow.
Yeah, but it's also moving. It's interesting. They showed me pictures of where it used to be kind of against this building almost on this cliffside, and now it's all the ways over there. So over hundreds of years, it can eventually just move. So it's very interesting. It's Mother Nature, and I think some people are starting to kind of realize that maybe we shouldn't necessarily be right here.
Sure.
So,
as somebody who grew up in New Orleans, I'm very familiar with those types of conversations, right? And you can only kind of hold it back for so long.
And you
need to adjust how you live sometimes, right?
But I tell you, I have friends who were, live on the river, were affected by the flood, and people say, "Is this it? Is this you moving?" Nope.
Right.
Till death do them part.
Nope.
Right. There's a reason why I live here. I love it here.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of hard choices. We talked about that night in the town hall because, especially on Paul Sawyer and some of those areas, it could have been their grandparents' home. It could have been there for 5 generations. There's some beautiful homes. And it's like, if they do the buyout, we knock it down and it turns into green space. And some people just can't stomach that idea. And so I respect that. And that's how I ended the night. I said, there's a lot of tough decisions that only you all can answer. And so them putting their names on the list for the potential buyout just means they're setting a placeholder. So it's just like buying a home. Until they come to the closing to sign the paper, they can walk away, no harm, no foul.
Okay.
So if there is a buyout, somebody sells out or whatever. I hate to say sell out. But then who owns that property?
Either the county or the city.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have to maintain it, but we can't do anything with it. We already have. There's a lot of property. I believe the mayor said the Valley Grand Park used to be houses, and now they turned it into a park. So the tough thing for us is if it's a house here and then a house there, we have a bunch. So that's where it's going to get a little.
Does that give the opportunity for more access to the river for people?
I guess potentially. Parking and all that. It can only be, I think a shade structure is about as permanent as you can get on there. You can plant trees. Which, honestly, we've had some conversations at the court, and that's would be my desire would be almost do like Reforest Frankfurt on any of the land, because that's possibly why some of the banks are collapsing, because people have cut the trees down and there's nothing holding the banks. So I think that's an important thing to realize too.
Okay.
Although now we have a tree right in the middle of the river.
Oh, really?
Yeah. From that big slide, and it just slid, and now the tree is right in the river.
That's how those things happen.
We also have poles.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A septic tank in there, a propane tank, but who are we to say?
Right. Or anything else you want to make sure you touch on?
I took some pictures earlier. We have a new Ford dealership going up. That's exciting. Out there on the interstate. That's what it's going to look like.
Oh, wow.
They're moving along. I talked to the contractors this morning. They're looking to be open next spring.
Wow.
Hey.
Yeah, so they're moving along, but
so where is that? Is that on the other side of the interstate?
It's near Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
If you're, Cracker Barrel, it's kind of near Democratic Drive. It's on Democratic Drive. So,
cool.
And I think, everyone said, why are they moving there? I think it's just to be visible from the interstate.
Access
From the interstate, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so that's happening. And then, we have the sports complex going on. That's really exciting.
Lakeview Park.
Yeah, rain's hurt us a little bit, but the new sports commission has been meeting. They've hired an attorney. The attorney is working on guidelines, bylaws, and an RFP for a sports management company. And so, as part of this whole sports,
so that'd be like promoting the facility to outside.
it will basically be
entities,
hiring a professional company to come in and manage
stuff.
and run and book it. That is connected nationally.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so that's,
Cool.
So our intention with the softball complex is kind of first phase, but is to, Monday through Thursday, it's for local teams and youth baseball up to, I think, 12 or 14 years old. And then, girls, and then potentially, we're building it too. So Kentucky State University could use it if they'd like to. So we're building it to the specs of, college
softball.
ball. And, it has to do with lighting and things like that. But it's moving in the right direction. They're going to get the RFP out. Hopefully, they will get a firm hired, and then it's our intention to go ahead and take over local sports. Right now, the city had done it for a long time. They're not doing it anymore. There's a volunteer association, parents that are doing it, and so that's we're gonna help with that. So.
Okay.
My input, I'm not on the official board, but I do attend the meetings, would be potentially by this fall to have them in place to run tournaments and things like that. So,
And and I'm sorry,
Yeah, you're fine.
The goal to maybe have a first event, not even public event, but just like be able to play a game there is when next year?
Probably next fall.
Okay.
It's about a 15-month build, start to finish. Whether
Sure.
it all depends what winter's going to do. But they're within probably a week or two of having most of the dirt work done.
Wow.
Yeah, they're moving along pretty well, and it did help. We had a road department do the demo of all the old fields and the old buildings, so that kind of bumped the schedule up. A month and a half. So everybody's just working together. And we're trying to get a bunch of exciting things done. So
Awesome.
Okay.
Yep.
We have questions.
Oh, great.
I thought to check this.
That's
time.
always good. We never do. And we're
I
like,
know.
as soon as he leaves,
you
we're like,
leave,
here are all
we've
these
got questions.
There we go.
When is the next meeting of the fiscal court?
Tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight.
What time?
5 o'clock.
Is that live on Cable 10?
Should be.
Yeah.
And
Always is.
Facebook
Yeah,
page.
always is.
And Brenda also says growth is people, not fast food sprawl. But that brings people.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's a balance, right? You need to
Yeah.
have the services for the people. If you're going to have people, you need to have the things that.
Right.
Yeah.
That draw them.
Right.
Yeah.
And we are also looking at infill. Like people talk about the Dick's Shopping Center out there. A new company just bought that out of Atlanta. Penny and I are working on getting a meeting and going down there to see maybe what their intention is for that. I do know in the paddocks, they're still looking and talking to developers about doing housing out there. And a lot of people are like, oh, Target's not going to happen. And so what people need to realize just on Target alone, the building's already built offsite.
Yeah.
They poured the walls, the steel's done.
Crazy,
Yeah,
the
they
way
literally
they do
they
that.
build the thing off-site
Wow.
and then they bring it and set it up. So they're working on footers now, but and it's going to be, I think, one of the big. It's a super Target, so one of the biggest in the southeast. So but they will be open next June, which blows my mind.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
How fast they can build these things
Yeah.
now. So everything is full steam ahead. Jason Taylor's been great to work with. And it's all about communication, So if they need something, they call, and we try to help. So it's a great relationship. So, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Question of the day. You clearly made your opinion known on the Reese's Cups not being eligible.
Now, listen, Reese's are one of my favorites, but I was just saying, I mean, you know.
Well, I'm also, she brought up the Hershey bar as a s'more. You can do a s'more with the Reese's Cup.
That's true.
And some
That's
people
true.
say that's better.
I'm just thinking classic.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Can you build a Mount Rushmore? Do you have 4 candy bars?
I'd probably go Hershey's, the candy bar style Reese's, to be legal.
Right,
just saying, Harvey.
I know you're a rule follower.
Yeah, I am. I'm on live TV, So, and then I'd probably do a Snickers and a Milky Way.
Milky Way, okay.
Or Twix, I don't know. Maybe as Milky Way and Twix, maybe.
Okay, Milky Way and
That's
Twix.
kind of a shrunk down candy bar, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think that counts.
I'm not a fan of the Milky Way.
Really? I like the Milky Way.
But do you like Snickers?
Yeah, because it has the extra stuff.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir, for all that you do. Thanks for your time to come here and talk to us. And
anytime.
and all the
I appreciate everything you all do and all the coverage you give us. And
for sure.
Absolutely. I have one point to make. We got a note that the fiscal court tonight will be streamed on YouTube.
Okay.
Because technical issues at the fiscal court from the flood don't allow cable right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Didn't know that.
Didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we know.
I'm sure we're working on fixing that.
We are. I'm sure.
Okay. Well, thank you again, sir. Have a good rest of your day.
Absolutely.
And,
thank you.
And we'll be back soon.